In LA this week.
Thousands of Angelenos bike to work on Bike to Work Day. But should this once-a-year event be every day? I'm Gil Reyes with the story next.
I'm Rasha Goel. Up next, why getting up and moving 90 minutes a day could be a lifesaver.
Join the celebration and dig into the bagels at the first ever Jewish Heritage Celebration in LA. I'm Anna Marcos, and we'll have the party coming up.
Hello and welcome to LA This Week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Yana Kay. Well, this year's latest gun buyback event by the LAPD makes LA neighborhoods safer, with 788 fewer guns now on the street. Anna Marcos has more on that, as well as a new way the program is getting funded.
Hundreds of dangerous guns coming off the streets and getting taken out of commission. It's all in a day's work for LAPD officers as they mark the 9th year of the city's successful gun buyback program.
That gun, turning it into us, actually may save a life.
On this weekend, 2 gun buyback events, one in the Valley and one in South LA.
Gun violence is something that South LA is far too familiar with. I have been out to well over 500 homicide scenes, and a vast majority of those include young people who were growing up in this community and their lives were taken.
These mothers and their murdered kids and family members are the reason the officers do it. Members of the group Justice for Murdered Children hope that nobody else ever has to join their group again.
That's our future, you guys. Turning in your gun helps save our sons from being victims of gun violence.
I have lost a son. My son was 24 years old, and it's just been over a year that I lost my son. By a person carrying a gun that should not have a gun.
Mayor Eric Garcetti and Councilmember Curran Price both stop in at the event, greeting community members and looking at the weapons that will no longer hurt anyone again. The weapons will be destroyed, and those handing them in get a gift card, up to $100 for regular guns and up to $200 for assault rifles.
There's no reason why an assault weapon like this should be on our streets. Someone had it, and fortunately they gave it up today. We're going to be getting hundreds of weapons off the street.
I have an old rifle that my son used to use in Boy Scouts when he was earning his merit badge. Well, he's much older now, and I have no reason for it because I don't hunt, so I'm just turning it in.
Previous gun buybacks have netted an average of about 800 weapons. That's 800 fewer chances for someone to end up getting killed by one of them. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
More than 16,000 guns have been taken off the street since the program began, and this year the city marks its first crowdfunding campaign for the gun buyback program. It raised $9,000 to pay for the gift cards handed out by officers. Well, 25 years after the LA riots, community members of various colors and faiths sat at the dinner table to talk race relations, and as Gil Reyes reports, how to prevent violence in the future.
The conversation at dinner got uncomfortable at times.
This is real stuff. When I said honest, this is what we have to do.
Black activist Danny Bakewell among the diverse group of dinner guests invited to break bread at the home of Council President Herb Wesson and his family. It's all part of a program called Embrace LA, getting race issues out in the open.
This conversation is about the future. This is a conversation is about where we want our children to be.
I can speak for black people. We still have massive incarceration. Right. We still have police brutality running rampant. Black people don't have no jobs in this city.
What it does is it creates animosity with other ethnic groups. It's not just about us coming up, it's why are the Latinos getting all the jobs? It's why are these Asian people coming and white people coming and buying up all the houses in our neighborhoods?
And that can fuel violence, like it did 25 years ago during the LA riots. And today, the city's Human Relations Commission says hate crimes against blacks, Latinos, Jews, and transgender women are up. The dinner conversation got brutally honest and surprisingly funny at times.
People often refer to me as Oriental, ornamental, Ja, or Chin. And even as a young teenager, I would stop these people and tell them, if you're gonna offend me, get it right, I'm a gook.
LA Times executive Susie Jack and Councilmember Mitch O'Farrell, both openly gay, mentioned racial and sexual intolerance in their hometowns and how they fled to Los Angeles to escape and maybe change things.
You know, I'm feeling a lot of shame, feeling a lot of shame for white people, for myself, and, you know, a little bit with my family, and trying to figure out how to channel that into some productive way.
I can play a part in making sure that we enact policy that will guard against those regressions.
That to me is inspiring and very positive when I'm hearing the discussion here.
At dinner at the home of Council President Herb Wesson, I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
The city's Human Relations Commission found hate crimes have risen sharply, particularly in downtown and on the west side. Another group is also trying to spread a message of love and acceptance for the LGBTQ community. As Rasha Goel explains, group members are hoping their anti-bullying campaign will bring communities together.
No matter what we have faced as a community, no matter what you have faced as a person, no matter what we will face throughout the rest of our lives, we must work towards spreading the message of unconditional love, because I believe that will help advance us as a community.
And that was the message the Latino Equality Alliance was spreading with their anti-bullying campaign.
Our LGBT Youth Council is hosting a rally, and this rally is to promote love and to promote awareness about the issues that are facing the LGBT community. And what we want to do here is call an end to homophobia, transphobia, and Islamophobia.
I think that there should be more education around the subject. It's still a hush-hush subject.
Naveed Merchant, an activist and supporter, was on hand to share his experience growing up as a gay Muslim.
I knew that God, or as we call him, Allah, made me gay, and that it was a beautiful gift. I knew that from 12. The most common question I get as a gay Muslim is, how do you reconcile your faith with your sexuality? And I say the answer is easy. There's no reconciliation, because there's no contradiction.
Baby, I was born this way. I'm beautiful in my way.
School officials also want to promote the importance of LGBT awareness in LAUSD schools.
We need to make sure that our students have the opportunity to see someone in a different position of power, especially our people of color, and know that we will advocate for them.
The community should just be more aware and know that, like, we are also part of society, and we are not second-class citizens, and we are not different. We are the same.
A message many attending here hope will be heard loud and clear. I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
Officials from the Latino Equality Alliance say they are also requesting more resources from elected officials for the LGBT youth. With passage of Measures H and HHH, voters overwhelmingly approved more housing and services for people who are homeless. And helping out are 25 free computers given to folks cycling out of the streets. They can thank a groundbreaking city program. Gil Reyes has more from Koreatown. Gil.
Well, Yana, as you know, we've reported extensively on the city's innovative computer giveaway program at schools, at senior housing facilities, but this is the first time, at least to my recollection, at a facility for the formerly homeless, transitional housing specifically. So these computers are expected to go a long way at a time when both the city and county are focusing very hard on homelessness.
Thank you.
Monica Mesa used to be homeless, but thankfully found transitional housing at Menlo Family Apartments in Koreatown. The building and its supportive services are helping her get back on her feet. And more help today, this free computer to help Mesa find a job and help her 9-year-old daughter do homework.
Oh my gosh, she's gonna be thrilled when she sees it. I told her, I'm gonna have a surprise for you. She doesn't even know. She doesn't know.
Mesa can thank the city's OurCycle LA program. It takes outdated city department office computers and instead of throwing them away, repairs them for families in need. The nonprofit group Human IT fixes and helps distribute them.
25 computers, yes, and it does include the desktop, the monitor, all their cables, their keyboard, and like I said, hotspot to take around as well.
You can give it to her. I want to give this to you.
Families also receive 3 years of free internet. Council President Herb Wesson and the city's Information Technology Agency came up with the concept 2 years ago. And since then, 2,700 computers have been given away free citywide.
And all we want to do is to make sure that everybody has a shot to be whatever the heck it is they want to be in the future. And in order to do that, you need access to computers.
You have to have a computer even just to be able to get a job. Employers more and more are requiring you to be able to submit your applications online. So when you're in an area where you have transitional housing, it's quintessential.
Mr. Reyes, it's Natalia.
The computer will also help Natalia Seals, a single mom who's caring for a special needs child.
I have a 3-year-old son that is autistic, so it's kind of hard. You know, he needs most of my time. And it will also help him and me to get information on autism and speech therapy classes or something online. Thank you to everyone that was able to help my community, my apartment for these computers.
Oh my God, yes, most definitely. Thank you, and God bless all the people who ever made this possible for us, because it's definitely a blessing for my family.
From the latest OurCycle giveaway in Koreatown, I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
And tenants will be able to keep those computers even after cycling out of transitional housing. Well, it's the first time the city celebrates its Jewish heritage. City leaders and the Jewish Federation of Greater Los Angeles kicked off what they hope will be a yearly event. Anna Marcos takes in some kosher nosh and some theater.
And she named him Moses.
A diverse group of actors helped bring a part of Jewish history alive.
My people, bruised, beaten, and burned.
This was Theater Dybbuk, ringing in the city's first Jewish Heritage Month celebration at City Hall with the play Exegog. The story has biblical and historical origins, but it's also incorporated the issues of present-day immigrants.
And so I feel like this celebration of Jewish Heritage Month is actually a celebration of all peoples who are just looking for a place to live and call home.
The city's top 3 elected leaders, as well as several council members, can all claim Jewish roots.
We know what it's like to be the other. In this city, with all our remarkable diversity, we have to recognize at times how fragile that diversity can be.
There's actually Jews from all over the world. You've got Ethiopian Jews who are black, you've got Chinese Jews, you've got Japanese Jews.
And if you don't know about Jews in Boyle Heights, you need to take a look at this UCLA historic exhibit that was on loan in the Rotunda. Bagels and rabbis once outnumbered taco stands on the east side.
You know, Los Angeles is so integrally tied, our history as a city, with Jewish immigrants.
I believe it's truly the DNA of the Jewish people to have a strong sense of community and moral purpose. And one of the core principles of Judaism, as it was mentioned, is tikkun olam, which means to repair the world. And for me, I take it quite literally. It means that to make our planet the best that we can.
Kosher knishes, and why not? This is the first ever Jewish Heritage Month celebration in the city of LA.
It was so good. I haven't had a blintz in so many years. That blintz, I had 2. It was so good. I was very happy.
There's, of course, lox and bagels. There's knish. There's all of these foods that actually bring me right back to being 10 years old in New Jersey and being with my family. So it's really quite wonderful.
And as they say in Hebrew and in Yiddish, Mazel Tov.
A little nosh, a little mazel tov, and this party is already well on its way to helping heal the world. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
The art exhibit you saw in the story is called Brooklyn Avenue to Cesar Chavez, Jewish Histories in Multi-Ethnic Boyle Heights. And you can see the entire exhibition at UCLA's Center for Jewish Studies. Also at City Hall, one council member showed off some of his dance moves as he promoted the benefits of exercise and how a little can go a long way. Rasha Goel has the highlights. Rasha.
Yana, it's the American Diabetes Association's Get Fit, Don't Sit Day, and that's why everybody's out here in front of City Hall getting their exercise on. Now, the association encourages people to stand up and move at least 90 minutes a day.
People spend an average of 5 hours and 41 minutes per day sitting at work each week, and research has shown that sitting for long periods of time increases your risk of death from virtually all health problems.
To help spread the message, Councilman Mitch O'Farrell recently hosted an energy-boosting group dance on the South Lawn of City Hall with students and parents from the Joy Picus Child Development Center. And when asked about his dance skills,
I'm a little rusty, a little stiff. I'm no spring chicken anymore. But in my 20s, I was a professional dancer up until my early 30s. And so I still move, I still like to move.
The message here is to really incorporate some type of exercise or movement in your schedule throughout the day.
You can march in place, you can do jumping jacks, you can jump on your toes. So that's the whole goal, just to elevate your heart rate. So whatever that entails.
Officials say diabetes strikes nearly 30 million children and adults in the U.S., so it's never too early to start prevention.
It was fun.
The American Diabetes Association recommends breaking up sitting time with 3 or more minutes of light physical activity, such as walking, leg extensions, or overhead arm stretches every 30 minutes. In downtown Los Angeles, I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
Officials say childhood obesity is an epidemic in California. A few years ago, more than 40% of our kids were overweight. Well, turning now to the first LA rail line to the beach in 60 years, as it celebrates a milestone and more riders than originally expected. Gil Reyes has the numbers for the Metro Expo line.
Metro's Expo line drops off passengers in Exposition Park for a special occasion.
This is my whole family here. They're all here for graduation.
All right.
And we all came actually from Culver City on the train to my graduation. We could have parked at USC, but we decided to take the train. That's how much we love it.
Actually, 2 reasons to celebrate today. This marks the 5-year anniversary of the Metro Expo line extension to Culver City, and also the 1-year anniversary of that extension to Santa Monica. Metro officials say ridership has exceeded all expectations.
Consider that Metro had predicted 64,000 average weekday boardings by 2020. With 3 years left to go, the Expo line is already close to that number, with 60,000 weekday passengers. And for Metro officials, the ride won't stop with a train to the beach.
We are now actively engaged in the most ambitious transit expansion program in the country.
We're working now to accommodate the population growth.
Projects include the Crenshaw Line Transit Corridor, which will connect the Expo line to the Green Line to serve LAX. Voters also recently passed Measure M, which will fund some 40 transportation projects over 40 years. You know who else rides Metro? Actor Ed Begley Jr. He says other actors should too.
Here's my script from a TV show that I'm doing at Sony Television. You can't study these lines while driving a car. It's dangerous. I would never think of doing it. But riding on the subway, riding the Expo line, the Red Line, I do it. I learn my lines on the way to work, coming back from work. It's a great system, and I love it.
Happy anniversary, Expo line. At USC, I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Metro officials say Sunday ridership is up significantly, with many people riding rail to get to the beach. And many Dodgers fans are also taking advantage of free Metro bus rides to the baseball game. For some, it's a little like a ride to heaven. Anna Marcos explains.
How excited are these Dodger fans? Yep, they're excited for Dodgers opening day. But now they have an extra reason to get excited, a free bus ride.
People can avoid the parking hassles and the traffic hassles and sit back and enjoy the game.
Metro has begun its Dodger Stadium Express for the season, providing free rides to all home games to anyone with a game day ticket.
We've been taking it for the last 4 years, and it's been exceptional to get in and out of the parking lot at the stadium.
It's our first experience on the Metro together, so I thought it would be a nice little ride for us to take it all the way up to Dodger Stadium.
Oh, how romantic. But for some, the trip is more of a heavenly experience.
Going to the big blue heaven upstairs, so after you do the Union Station, get a cup of coffee, and then just head on up. It's actually a really good way of seeing LA.
Yep, lots of Dodger fans in their blue baseball caps, dressed in their blue finery, getting a free ride to the Big Blue Heaven upstairs. No, not that Big Blue Heaven way upstairs, just the Dodgers one on top of the hill. So let's see some of that Dodger spirit.
Go Dodgers.
Go Dodgers.
Nah.
Go Dodgers.
Nah.
Go Dodgers!
Better, but hold on.
It's a little less to park here at the...
Go Dodgers!
Thank you.
Now that's what we're talking about. The Dodger Stadium Express leaves from Union Station downtown and the Harbor Gateway Transit Center. So happy Dodgers Day, getting a free ride to that Big Blue Heaven upstairs. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
The Dodger Stadium Express has shuttled 1.2 million fans in the last 8 years. For more information on the bus service, call 213-922-2707. On the other side of town in San Pedro, other folks promoted a different way of getting around on two wheels. Gil Reyes reports from Bike to Work Day, which is increasingly becoming every day for many cyclists.
Marissa Garcia works in downtown and notices more and more cyclists riding to work, like she does every weekday.
When I started 2 years ago, I would find it was just me on the road. Nowadays, I find that, I ride in a pack of 3 or 4 people, and it's really fantastic. So I love to see the changing landscape of downtown. I would love to see a lot more bike lanes.
Garcia and others cycle to work on National Bike to Work Day. The LA County Bicycle Coalition and Metro have a few surprises set up.
So today this is our Bike to Work pit stop. We have coffee, water, bananas, tangerines, and we're just flagging down cyclists as they come by, chatting with them a little bit, thanking them for being out on the road.
And encouraging more bicycling to work all year round. Many of these cyclists are coming from 20, sometimes 30 miles away, making the trek to downtown at least once a week. Like R.J. Palace from Chatsworth.
Commuting to work from Chatsworth, that's kind of a way. That's the other side of the city.
It is, but there's a lot of public transportation. You can take the Metrolink, which has a lot of places for you to put your bike in.
You gotta do bike karaoke.
Coming in from the South Bay are LA City Council member Joe Buscaino and his staff. They are psyched about the recent passage of Metro's Measure M, clearing the way for more bike lanes, bike paths along the LA River, also more bus and rail for placing those bikes during those really long commutes.
It's an exciting time in the city for us, and as chairman of Public Works, I'm looking forward to leading that policy discussion alongside my colleagues in the City Council. We are doing everything we can to promote using your bike in our city and do so in a safe way.
So especially if you work and live in downtown, there's almost no excuse. You cut back on pollution, you get your exercise in, and you don't have to find any parking, which is rare to find in downtown anyway. My only question is how not to ruin a suit if you have to wear a suit to work.
You can have suits at work, so a lot of people will leave stuff at work, come in and change. Or if it's a casual Friday and you can wear jeans that day, great day to bike to work. So, everyone doesn't have to do it every day, but you can start small and just do it a few days a week.
And start living healthier, happier lives. In downtown Los Angeles, I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
And even if you don't own a bike for downtown riding, you can rent one at more than 60 Metro bike kiosks in the downtown area. The Korean community celebrates a key figure who helped write their history. The Department of Public Works gets special recognition from the mayor, and a new bike storage facility helps public transit commuters get around the city more efficiently. All these stories in Citybeat. The National Hangul Museum, the Korean Cultural Center Los Angeles, and academic professionals at UCLA recently hosted an academic conference to celebrate the 620th birthday of King Sejong the Great, who created the Korean alphabet known as Hangul. Educators said interest in learning Korean as a second language has spiked in the last few years among students. This event celebrated Korea's unique writing system.
Partly, it's an expression of our scholarly commitment to the advancement of knowledge about Korea and the Korean language.
The City of Los Angeles Department of Public Works joined municipalities across North America to celebrate National Public Works Week, held each year in May. The event recognizes and highlights the important and outstanding work done by thousands of hardworking public works professionals. The theme this year is Public Works Connects Us. LA has more than 5,000 employees in public works responsible for the construction, renovation, and operation of city facilities and infrastructure, as well as the delivery of public safety and environmental programs. Mayor Eric Garcetti kicked off the week by presenting a proclamation to Public Works recognizing the department's achievements. Wrapping up Bike Week, a grand opening ceremony of a new Metro bike hub at the Hollywood Vine Metro Red Line station in Hollywood was held recently. The new 1,000 square foot bicycle indoor parking facility will provide secure, controlled entry for 64 bicycles under closed circuit TV surveillance, peak hour staff availability, same-day repairs, bike accessory sales, and clinics. Officials say Hollywood and Vine will now have a safe, secure facility to help commuters and tourists combine bicycle and transit trips to and from Hollywood to avoid traffic and parking challenges.
This bicycle facility, when used with Metro bike trains and buses, really does provide the first mile, last mile solution. Combined with Metro Bike Share, you really have a comprehensive solution to get around Los Angeles County.
Celebrate a historical figure in Los Angeles during Lummis Day festivities. If you love bread, here's something you can bite into and move to the beat of a Cuban-American music festival. All this in this week's Things to Do. This weekend, you can enjoy some fun at the Lummis Day Festival. Lummis Day is named after Charles Fletcher Lummis, who was the first city editor of the Los Angeles Times and founded the Southwest Museum, or the first museum in LA. This festival celebrates the art, history, and ethnic diversity in Los Angeles and is a cultural event that is community-oriented. It all takes place June 2nd through the 4th at various venues in LA. For locations, visit lummisday.org/schedule. The Los Angeles Bread Festival is back. Get ready to carbo load as Grand Central Market hosts the 3rd annual Los Angeles Bread Festival on June 3rd and 4th. The free 2-day event is a celebration of Southern California's artisanal bread renaissance and an invitation to the public to experience the many expressions of LA bread at its best. The centerpiece of the festival is a pop-up marketplace showcasing local bread bakers as well as bread-centric workshops and demonstrations. Additional workshops led by guest bakers will cover artisan bread baking at home, beginning bread making, pita, biscuits, and challah, plus community bread baking. It all takes place June 3rd through the 4th from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Grand Central Market. For more, visit grandcentralmarket.com. La Plaza du Cultura, in conjunction with Yambu Productions, present the Cuban American Music Festival in keeping with La Plaza's mission of promoting Latin culture. The Cuban American Music Festival will highlight traditional Cuban culture with music, art, dance, Cuban-inspired crafts, culinary delicacies, and cigar rollers. The festival will showcase top Cuban music acts to delight the senses. It all takes place on June 4th from noon through 8 p.m. For more, visit CubanAmericanMusicFestival.net. And that's a look at some things to do. Well, that's going to do it for this edition. I'm Yana Kane from all of us here at LA This Week. Thanks for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacitv.org. You can also follow and like us on Facebook. We'll see you back here next week for more of LA This Week.